A very good evening. Nice to have you join us on the news at 5, reaching you from Channels Television's global headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm Dominic Iwiwa, and these are the stories and reports we're tracking at the moment. We start off with the judiciary, as Justice Mohammed Umar of the Federal High Court in Abuja has adjourned proceedings until June 15 to rule on an application filed by activist Mr. Omoyele Sowore. Mr. Sowore is formally seeking for the judge to recuse himself from his ongoing trial alleging biases. During Friday's hearing, Mr. Sowore informed the court that he would be representing himself, stating that his previous legal team is afraid to appear before the court following alleged humiliations. He subsequently moved motions requesting the judge's recusal and the referral of his case to the chief judge for reassignment to a different courtroom. The prosecuting counsel, Kehinde Akinlolu, vehemently opposed the applications, labeling them an abuse of court processes intended to irritate the judiciary. He urged the courts to dismiss the motions, citing a directive from the chief judge that the matter must proceed under the current presiding judge. In a short ruling, Justice Umar stated that he must thoroughly review the processes filed by the defendants before delivering a decision. Mr. Sowore is currently being prosecuted by the DSS over allegations of making defamatory claims against President Bola Tinubu on his social media platforms. Armed men suspected to be kidnappers have abducted a 9-year-old boy identified as Victor Olasebikon during a violent attack on residents of Ogun, a community in Osha local government area of Ondo State. According to Mr. Isaac Olasebikon, the father of the abducted boy, at approximately 1:30 a.m. on Friday, 5th June 2026, a group of armed men invaded the community, firing gunshots sporadically and causing panic among residents. Mr. Olasebikon explained further that the assailants forced their way into his residence while he escaped into a nearby bush, leaving his 9-year-old son in the house, who was abducted by the armed men. The public relations officer, Ondo State Police Command, DSP Abayomi Jimo, confirmed the incident in a statement issued in Akure, the state's capital. The statement partly reads, open quote, "Upon receipt of the distress report, the divisional police officer and his men, in collaboration with the Amotekun Corps, immediately mobilized to the scene and launched a coordinated search and rescue operation," end of quote. According to Mr. Jimo, investigations have commenced while relevant exhibits have been recovered and documented to determine the circumstances surrounding the attack, with the aim of rescuing the victim and also apprehending the perpetrators. To security matters now, Chief of Naval Staff Vice Admiral Idi Abbas says Nigeria's coastal and riverine areas are now largely safer due to intensified Nigerian Navy operations targeting crude oil theft, sea robbery, and other maritime crimes. Speaking on Channels Television Sunrise Daily, he noted that sustained surveillance and enforcement efforts have significantly reduced illegal oil activities and improved security across the nation's waterways, though isolated incidents still persist. Vice Admiral Abbas added that while challenges remain, ongoing naval operations continue to suppress maritime threats and strengthen safety along Nigeria's coastal corridors.
As it stands today, I can say that our coastal areas and the riverine areas are relatively safe. What we are contending with mostly there now is this issue of crude oil theft and then some pockets of sea robbery, which we are able to curtail. But as it stands today, the Nigerian Navy is also involved in all the theaters of operations on land, be it the northeast, the northwest, the north central, that's the various operations, Sadinkai, Fansanya, Ma, Wild Stroke. We have our men there operating alongside sister services and other security agencies. And it's in realization of the changing dynamics of security and the asymmetric nature of warfare we're fighting now that we decided to come up with the Nigerian Navy Marines, who are trained to fight both on land and water. And the first inaugural batch have been inducted And so far, so good, they are doing well.
Now, as part of efforts to enhance capacity and operational preparedness of Lagos police officers, the Lagos State Security Trust Fund has equipped all area commanders, divisional police officers, and tactical commanders with bulletproof vests and ballistic helmets. Speaking with journalists on this gesture, the executive secretary of the interventionist agency, Mr. Ayadele Ogun, explains that they are always ready to support the police so as to strengthen the ongoing security efforts in the state.
This is marking another milestone in the support for the enhancements of the security architecture in Lagos State. This is to tell us that we are getting all the necessary support from the government and the LSSTF as usual, and in ensuring that we have a secure Lagos. You can see us battle ready, coupled with all the security architecture that we have on ground to secure the good people of Lagos State. And this is to tell you that in whatever circumstance, we are battle ready to ensure we have a safe and secure Lagos.
We started this some months ago. Not only the police, we've reached out to all the security agencies. We've done that to the service commanders. All of them are ready. But we felt at this point, leadership is key. Standing before us today, behind us with the CP, are the DPOs, the area commanders, and all the tactical heads of different units of the Nigerian police force. So we felt we can't just equip the men. If we equip the leaders, then they will lead from the front. And so everyone is ready. We thank Lagosians first for making available to us the resources to procure all these gadgets that you're seeing today. We thank Lagosians. And in response to your gesture, to your contribution, to your constant donation, the agency, which is the Nigerian police force that we're donating this item to, now receiving those items to do the jobs that you call them to do. Lagos has the capacity, and that's what you've seen here. For those who will always want to perpetrate evil, don't come near us. Stay away.
The governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP in Ekiti State, Dr. Wale Oluyede, has called on the state government to desist from using law enforcement agents to suppress and intimidate opposition political actors in the state. Addressing journalists at a press conference in Ikere, Ekiti, Dr. Oluyede said weaponizing instruments of state security against political rivals will undermine democratic principles and create an unhealthy climate of fear as the state approaches the June 20 governorship election. In a swift reaction, the chief press secretary to the governor of Ekiti State, Mr. Yinka Oyebode, dismissed Mr. Oluyede's allegation as baseless and unfounded.
It's interesting that while we are having people that are being handpicked in this country, in this state right now, that are being kidnapped, the Rapid Response Squad, or RRS they call it, is presently standing in front of the state government building, and it's arresting politicians who are trying to exercise their franchise. That's what they are doing. They threaten other politicians. The government is using them to pick politicians. My people are afraid. Every day they come here and say, look, they say they are going to pick us with Form K. I want to assure whoever is behind Form K, I am lawyered up. We will lawyer them up. We will make their lives difficult. Legally.
I want to say with all sense of responsibility that the allegation by the PDP candidate is most unfounded, and it will appear that he's just trying to look for excuses for losing. They will tell you that winners will always look for ways to win, and losers will always look for excuses for losing. So I think it can be summarized in a way of he looking for excuses to lose. Having said that, you will know, you have been reporting, you have been following the electioneering campaign in the state. The government of the state is extensively building about River, you recall, has always emphasized a violence-free campaign, issue-based campaign, and that is what he has been doing.
The Ogun State government says it is working on two possible causes of the methane emission, which has been responsible for the collapse of students in the Jebode local government area of the state. The State Commissioner for Environment, Ola Oresonya, gave the indication while coordinating activities as one of the affected schools in Jebode. According to the state government, about 60 students who were affected by the emissions have been discharged from the Jebode State Hospital, where they received medical attention after the incident.
3 incidents occurring within just 2 months have sent shockwaves through teachers, students, and parents alike. At Our Lady of Apostles Primary and Secondary School, the resurgence of methane emissions, mirroring 2 previous incidents, have created an atmosphere of panic and fear. About 60 students were affected and evacuated to the state-owned hospital in Ijebu-Ode.
We noticed a quick smell in our school, and we were surprised that that thing can smell once again in our school. So everyone was there was rumors in our school that that thing can happen once again in our school. So everyone was just slumping. Everyone was fainting. So our teachers, everyone, we are just doing as if that thing can happen once again.
The State Commissioner for Environment, who is coordinating activities at the school, stated that the government is investigating the situation with air analyzers and surveillance cameras now mounted at strategic locations across Ijebu-Ode.
What we can see here is all about our probing path. We have to probe any situation you see, you have to probe, because we've not seen it before. And so the first time it happened, all we have to do eliminate is human activities. And that's exactly what we did the first time, you know. And then all we did then was to establish, install a gas probe, you know, because by the time we got there the first time, we couldn't get any gas again. So we now install gas probe, not just in all over Ijebu-Ode. So we were able to install those gas probes. So the gas probe confirmed to us that what we are having is the methane and sulfides that are actually depleting the oxygen all around the town. So that means we have to track area where we can get methane. And that's exactly what we were doing before this one came up also.
He also noted that officials are currently investigating 2 potential causes.
Now, we talked to the company that's supplying methane gas through the express. So we've shut down that one now. We've shut down the gas supply system. Though it's about 5 kilometers away from here, but we don't want to eliminate any, we don't want to take anything for granted. The health of the children more important than any other thing.
A visit to the state hospital confirmed that all affected students have been treated and discharged with no casualties reported.
You're watching the news at 5 on Channels Television. Right after this break, we'll bring you more stories making the rounds at the moment. Stay with us. Welcome back. Nigeria continues to classify the risk of importing the Bumbiogo strain of the Ebola virus disease as high, citing ongoing regional transmission, international travel, population movement, porous borders, and the possibility of delayed detection due to symptoms that closely resemble those of malaria and Lassa fever. This is according to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, following a recent dynamic risk assessment by the agency. Speaking in Lagos while briefing journalists on intensified preparedness measures following outbreaks reported in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda, the Director General of the NCDC, Dr. Jide Idris, said the agency has strengthened surveillance and response mechanisms across the country. Highlighting key response strategies, Dr. Idris urged state governments to activate preparedness measures, called on frontline health workers to maintain a high index of suspicion for suspected cases, and appealed to the public to remain calm while adhering to public health advisories.
Let me begin again by reassuring Nigerians that as at now, there is currently no confirmed case of Ebola virus in this country. We don't hope to have. So the states have been requested to activate and sustain preparedness coordination mechanisms, just like I do in NCDC. Each state is supposed to do that on their own. They should strengthen their surveillance and alert management systems, operationalize designated treatment centers, intensify preparedness activities at points of entry and transport hubs. We urge all clinicians and frontline healthcare workers to maintain a high index of suspicion, particularly amongst persons with recent travel history to affected countries or epidemiological links to confirmed or suspected cases. We encourage Nigerians to remain calm. I say again, we do not have any case of Ebola in this country. They should remain calm and continue their normal activities. However, they should also obtain information only from credible sources. Avoid spreading rumors and misinformation. Practice good hygiene, the same thing IPC, hand washing, proper sanitation. These are key. And promptly report any unusual illnesses through established public health channels.
A coalition of Apex leaders, party members and other stakeholders of Etiosa Constituency 1 of Lagos State has appealed to President Bola Tinubu and the national leadership of the All Progressives Congress, APC, to intervene in what they describe as an attempt to disregard the outcome of the party's primary election in the constituency. Speaking at a press briefing after embarking on a peaceful protest in the area, leader of the group, Mr. Awolabi Yisa, appealed to President Tinubu to urgently intervene and redress the unfolding situation. Mr. Yisa urged the leaders to ensure that the mandate freely given to the incumbent lawmakers is respected. The stakeholders alleged that Mr. Nohim Adams emerged as the choice of APC members during the party's primary election, defeating his closest rival, Mr. Sahid Bankole, by a wide margin. As the world marks World Environment Day under the global theme, inspired by nature for climate for our future, people around the globe are taking part in the #NowForClimate movement. This year, the fight against the planetary crisis intersects directly with the world's biggest sporting stage, the upcoming FIFA World Cup. Our correspondent Ayola Kasim looks at the World Environment Day campaign and how countries are coming together to solve the climate crisis.
No longer a distant forecast, extreme heat is now a daily battle for urban infrastructure, human health, and global sports. With 48 teams and 104 matches about to kick off across North America, the FIFA World Cup is under a harsh environmental spotlight, and concerns over athletes and fan safety are peaking. Scientists are warning that extreme heat has become the ultimate opponent on the pitch.
We're all watching the game, but it's stopped because it's too hot. Hot for players, for fans, for everyone. It's hot and getting hotter. That's not random. That's climate change. The planet is heating up after more than a century of burning fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas that traps heat in the atmosphere. And now we're feeling it everywhere.
Studies show that over 85% of the tournament's massive carbon footprint will come from fan transit, and FIFA has pledged to have emissions by 2030. Meanwhile, critics ask how mega sports truly stay green when the planet is simmering. Some say the answer might lie in how individual cities adapt.
That means slashing emissions, accelerating a just transition away from fossil fuels and towards renewables, the only sustainable path to lower costs and to real energy security. Cutting methane, one of the fastest, cheapest ways to limit near-term warming, protecting forests, land and seas, helping communities adapt to the devastating impacts already here, and it means fulfilling climate finance promises to developing countries to save lives, protect livelihoods, and strengthen economies.
This World Environment Day, the United Nations has activated the groundbreaking 50 cities avoiding and adapting to a 50 degrees Celsius world called 50 at 50. This flagship drive unites over 50 global cities from Rio to Lagos to share rapid cooling frameworks, stress test public emergency systems, and implement urban greening.
So you can tell the temperature at different times in Lagos. You can measure temperature over a period, see what has changed in certain areas. We get flags and red alerts on days when someone is doing open burning, or when there's a trigger, or when there's something giving extreme heat in an area. We think that this is a very good way to start. You can't manage what you don't measure, right? So we are measuring, we're keeping an eye. Also, on the common sense side of things, or on the policy side of things, we've been able to make sure that we enforce the policies of planting trees to absorb the city heat.
Lagos, a bustling metropolis of over 20 million people, has long battled the tag of a concrete jungle. Its residents face worsening urban heat islands and heightened flood risks from intense coastal rainstorms. The theme of this year's World Environment Day is inspired by nature for climate for our future. It is said that that theme isn't just a slogan, it is a survival strategy.
And we have to really start to rethink about the whole process of our so-called development, our concrete jungles. Concrete will not produce oxygen for you. And if you want to buy the chemically induced scientific oxygen in the hospital, believe you me, it is very, very expensive. It's far better to get it from nature.
Baku, the capital of Azerbaijan, is the epicenter of the world climate diplomacy on the 5th of June as the host city. Here, the message to the world leaders is stark.
The story is not yet written, and the pen is in our hands. We can craft our own story by acting to slow down climate change, by delivering a safer nature, by delivering safer and healthier and more prosperous and more equitable societies. It is in our hands.
From the streets of Baku to Lagos, limbo dancing in a forest in Nairobi, to the pitch in North America, the message from the Global Climate Authority this 5th of June is unified. Adaptation is no longer optional as the clock ticks in the race against a warming planet. Ayola Kasim, Channels Television News.
And on business news, the Managing Director and Chief Technology Officer of Dalax Integrated Systems Limited, Deji Ajayi, is calling for increased investment in Nigeria's power infrastructure to support the transition to smarter and more efficient electricity networks. Mr. Ajayi adds that investments in modern grid technology and smart meters will improve energy management, enhance efficiency, and support the integration of distributed energy resources into the national grid.
The net metering requires them to have smarter grid, requires them to have smarter meters, requires them to put in, improve on their feeders. Currently now, some regions, some areas, their feeders cannot accommodate the energy required by the customers, as it were. Now, they need the kind of investment that will allow them upgrade their own infrastructure to be able to accommodate these smarter meters, because and not all players, not all consumers that they are now terming as consumers, that is people that are now selling energy back to the grid, will be able to benefit from this. And because you have a larger installations around less than 50 kilowatts, the benchmark is 50 kilowatts to 1.5 megawatts. There are a lot of things you need to put in place to make this happen. And I don't think that would be a thing that, it's a good idea, but I'm not sure we're prepared for it.
And that's it on the news at 5. I'm Dominic Iwiwo. Up next is The World Today.